Today we're going to share some secret sauce with you. How to save up in an RESP the most efficient way. And you might be thinking, Adam, I'm retired, I don't need an RESP, my kids are grown. But maybe you have kids, grandkids, a friend that could implement this strategy. It's a very powerful tool. And I've brought John Kootenay, who's part of our team here, our planning team, onto the channel to share some thoughts around how to maximize an RESP, how to maybe transfer some wealth from your pocket that you're not going to use to your kids, grandkids, or someone else that you care about. So this is a really powerful and unique situation that a lot of you fall into. So make sure you pay attention so that you can implement this plan yourself to save lots of money and help create generational wealth. So let's welcome John to the channel.
Well, John, thanks so much for joining us today. I know RESPs aren't really a big conversation for many, but it's really important. And you have a great strategy today that you want to show, and you're going to share the software, I know. So I'll let you take over from here and run through some numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me on the channel, Adam. Today, I just wanted to talk about the RESP, that's the Registered Education Savings Plan. And I wanted to kind of give some information on how you can kickstart that RESP if you have the funds available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share our software that we use here and basically just walk you through a couple scenarios. So when folks have kids, generally, we might not be in the most financial stable point of our life, but we do want to contribute to their education. So with an RESP, if you put in $2,500, the government will match you 20%. So you'll get $500. That's that Canada Education Savings Grant that I'm hovering over here. We're going to assume a 5% rate of return in all of our scenarios. And this scenario just has the parent contributing $2,500 every year. We see that by the child's age 14, that grant is maxed out. And so we continue to make those contributions until we hit the lifetime maximum of $50,000 for the RESP. At that point, we can see if we're going to draw out, say, $30,000 for tuition, and we want a 4-year program, we're falling a little bit short. We don't have enough money in that last year with this 5% return. So how do we get $30,000 a year for education is what we're trying to showcase here. So I'll show a different scenario where we put in $2,500 every year until we max out the Canada Education Savings Grant. But then we want to put the maximum in right away. So there's to max it out, we'll put in an additional $12,500 at the child's age 15. That'll get us up to that $50,000 cap. And we see that it continues to grow to about $97,000, but we're still a bit shy. This only provided an additional $2,000 roughly in that last year.
John, a couple notes here. So one thing that people should be aware of is where we're getting that 50 grand from. So 50,000 is the maximum you can put into an RESP for each child in their lifetime. So that's where kind of this scenario here, we're kind of, once we've maxed the grants, which I'll touch on here in a second, we just kind of lump sum it in there. So get to that $50,000 lifetime contribution. The education savings grant that you receive, the maximum lifetime you can get, again, is 20% of your contributions every year to a maximum on an annual basis. But on a lifetime basis, the most grant you can get is $7,200. So again, where we see there is once that grant has been maxed at $7,200, as you continue to put more money in, you're not getting the grant, but that money is for the kids' education. It grows tax deferred. There's other benefits to it. So I just wanted to highlight that 50,000 as well as the 7,200 on the grant side.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Adam, for touching base on that. And it's important to note that when you withdraw these funds, generally that's going to be for education. So that's going to be taxed in the hands of the beneficiary. Chances are they're going to be going to school. So they'll also have tuition credits. So really this money likely will come out almost tax-free to the kids for their education. So
yeah, and you're only taxed on the growth and the grant. So your contributions going in will come out tax-free. The growth and the grants that come out are taxed in your kids' hands, which, you know, over the last 20 years of doing this, I would say very seldom is a child paying tax on that money or on that income. It does happen once in a while, but it's not too common. So it's a very efficient way to kind of save up and utilize funds for kids' education that you're probably going to help them with anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a powerful tool for sure. And so this next one is where we kickstart the RESP and put in 16,500 in the first year. And then that is maxed out by the child's age 14. So in this case, the account grows to be about 110,000. And once we start those withdrawals, we're just shy of hitting that 30,000 goal.
sorry, instead of topping up to 50,000 at the end of the process, you're just doing it at the beginning of the process.
Correct. There's the 14,000 going in at the start, plus the 2,500, which you'll get the grant, and that makes by child's age 14, all of the contributions are maxed out for the lifetime contribution of $50,000.
Hmm.
Now, in cases where there may be, grandparents who are in a good financial position and have more money than they might be spending in their lifetime, and their goal is to help with the set up kind of generational wealth, and education is important for that. So in this case, if you've got the 50,000 up front, the power of compounding is really showcased here, because we're not getting much of the grant money because we're maxing it out in that first year. So we're just collecting $500 of grant money, but with that 5% growth over a long period of time, you can see that the account grows to be about 127,000. And then we've got 4 years of $30,000 withdrawals with about 20,000 left over. So I just wanted to showcase this scenario and the other scenarios to give you folks an idea as to how this looks, showcase the power of compound interest.
Mhm.
And I think with the RESP, it's something that often is set up and you set it and you forget it. And and then, the years go by, and without looking back at it, you don't really make changes. So,
Well, and those years of your life, and you and I know because we both have younger kids, those years when your kids are young, like the years do fly by. And it's like, holy cow, they're 18 off to university now. And like, sorry, what do I have in the RESP? And it's kind of like this thing that you set up many years ago, and hopefully you set it up. One pushback I've gotten before, or question I've gotten around this is, well, Adam, like, why would I put 50,000 up front and lose all those grants? And the reality is, typically when our clients are doing something like this, or where it actually makes a lot of sense, is let's say you're in retirement and you put a plan together with our team, and it's saying, look, like, you're not going to spend all your money. Like, you have non-registered investments that you're never going to use. It's going to pass on to your kids, your grandkids, whatever it is already. Plus, between now and death, it's a taxable liability to you. So that $50,000 is sitting on your books, generating 5-10%, whatever it is, but it's generating taxes, clawing back your old age security. So it's an asset on the books, but it's actually a bit of a liability for you. So if we can transfer that to your grandchild's RESP, it's no longer a tax liability for you. Now, it would have gone to them probably anyways, and now that $50,000 is grown tax deferred, and when they pull it out, it may not be tax-free, but it's in their tax rate. So it's going to be very low to free on the tax side as well. So huge benefit here. So a lot of you can't look past, well, I'm only getting the $500 of grants, not $7,200. But you have to look at the other side benefits as well. So if you're sitting there saying, yeah, I do have a lot of non-reg that I'm not going to use, I have grandkids, I should probably help them out. Maybe you have great grandkids already. Yeah, this is a really powerful tool. And a lot of you probably haven't seen this or thought about it. If you do have questions on this, reach out to our office. Just email info@parallelwealth.com, or you can email john@parallelwealth.com. We'd be happy to walk through this with you and see if it's a good solution for you. So happy to help you out. But these are the types of things we want to look at with clients. Like, how do we create a generational wealth? But also, a lot of our clients are in good positions like that, where they have more money than they're going to spend. This is a great way to kind of shelter that asset and help, the next generation succeed.
Absolutely. Yeah, right on, Adam. Thanks for having me on the channel. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for the insight, and we'll do it again soon.